Are you the person who always ends up just handling it? The one who notices everything and feels like if you stop paying attention, something terrible will happen? If this sounds familiar, you might be dealing with something we're calling lane adjacency disorder. Now, this isn't a real medical diagnosis, but it's a powerful way to describe a very real experience. It's that feeling of persistent mental multitasking, where your brain is constantly juggling tasks that aren't even yours. It's when you find your role at work, or even in your family, constantly expanding without your permission. You end up with all the responsibility but none of the actual authority. So, what are the common signs? You might feel restless when you're supposed to be resting, or a wave of guilt washes over you whenever you're not being productive. Even when you are doing something, you might feel guilty about not doing something else. It's a confusing, exhausting cycle. You might also find yourself praised for being so capable and on top of everything, all while you're secretly burning out. You feel this strange sense that if you were to stop, it would be negligent. Does your nervous system constantly tell you that being vigilant is the only way to feel safe? That's a huge part of this. Lane adjacency disorder doesn't happen to people who are lazy or unmotivated. In fact, it's the complete opposite. It happens to highly competent, emotionally intelligent people who are repeatedly exposed to systems with blurry or non-existent boundaries. You're good at what you do. You see the potential problems down the line, and you step in to fix them because no one else is. It's a survival mechanism that develops when capable people have to adapt to unmanaged complexity. You start confusing your awareness of a problem with an obligation to solve it. You might feel this overwhelming pressure because your job description seems to change daily, or you're held accountable for outcomes you're not officially in charge of. Boundaries feel more like a nice idea than a practical reality. This isn't a personal failing. It's a systemic one. You've learned to believe that if you don't notice the issue, something bad will happen. You might even feel a weird sense of relief during a crisis because for once, everyone's role becomes crystal clear. So, what happens if you try to stop? What if you decide to stay in your own lane? Well, at first, it might feel incredibly uncomfortable. There might be some awkward silences as others realize you're no longer picking up the slack. You'll likely feel a surprising amount of guilt, maybe even grief for the role you used to play. But then something amazing happens. Relief. A deep, profound sense of relief as you reclaim your time and energy. There's no magic pill for lane adjacency disorder. The treatment involves a combination of things. It starts with setting firm boundaries, and I mean really firm. It requires a push for shared responsibility and structural clarity within your organization or family. It also involves learning to regulate your nervous system, teaching it that you don't have to be on high alert all the time to be safe. And most importantly, it means giving yourself permission to not notice everything. You are allowed to let some things go. So ask yourself and your system, is this constant overfunctioning really right for you? Because just because you can carry the weight of the world, doesn't mean you should. It's time to put some of that weight down.